In the 17th century, when European empires were expanding across Africa, one woman stood up to challenge one of the most powerful forces of her time. Her name was Queen Nzinga, a warrior, a diplomat, and a fearless defender of her people. This is her story. Born around 1583 in the kingdom of Ndongo, in present-day Angola, Nzinga grew up in a royal family. Her father was king. From a young age, she learned politics, military strategy, and leadership. Unlike many girls of her time, Nzinga was trained like a prince. She watched her father govern and learned how to negotiate with enemies. And soon, she would need every one of those skills. At the time, Portugal was expanding its slave trade in Central Africa. They wanted control over Nongo's land and people. War broke out. In 1622, Nzinga's brother, the king, sent her to negotiate peace with the Portuguese governor in Luanda. What happened next became legendary. When Nzinga arrived for negotiations, the Portuguese placed only one chair in the room for their governor. They expected Nzinga to sit on the floor as a sign of submission. But Nzinga refused to be humiliated. She ordered one of her servants to kneel, and she sat on the servant's back, at equal height with the governor. In that moment, she showed the world she would never bow. After her brother's death, Nzinga became ruler, but the Portuguese broke their agreements and continued invading. So Nzinga did something extraordinary. She reorganized her army. She formed alliances with neighboring kingdoms. She even allied with the Dutch, enemies of Portugal, to strengthen her position. For nearly 40 years, she fought against Portuguese domination. 40 years. She used both war and diplomacy to protect her kingdom. Queen Nzinga was not just a warrior. She was a brilliant political strategist. She moved her capital to Matamba, rebuilt her power, and created a safe haven for escaped enslaved Africans. She adapted, negotiated, fought, and survived. In a world dominated by men and empires, Nzinga commanded armies and controlled her destiny. Queen Nzinga died in 1663 at around 80 years old. She left behind a legacy of resistance, courage, and intelligence. Today, she is remembered as one of Africa's greatest heroines. In Angola, she is a national symbol of strength. Across Africa, she represents resistance against colonial oppression. Queen Nzinga teaches us something powerful. Leadership is not about gender. Power is not given. It is claimed. And dignity must always be defended. If you enjoyed this story, like, subscribe, and share African Heroines to celebrate African history. Because Africa's queens were never silent. They were warriors.